What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me for another Civic Type R video where I share with you my journey on making my Civic Type R into a track/race car that I can drive on the streets. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at my upgrades that I've done to the seats. So I've gotten a Sparco seat and an OMP race bucket. These are both race buckets. I'm going to go over the pros, the cons, the pitfalls, right? There's some issues that come with this, and if you should be getting one for your car. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's have some fun. So as we get started here, I'd really appreciate it if you guys show some support to my channel. Over 90% of you guys that watch the videos don't subscribe, don't comment, don't interact with my channel, and that really hurts the channel. If you guys enjoy these type of videos, if you find any value in them, I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and click that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, actually. What do you think about me putting these race buckets in these seats? I've had a couple people message me and tell me it's a terrible idea. They love their Civic Type R seats, and I can't argue with them. The Civic Type R seats, the stock ones, are actually very excellent, but there's some key reasons why the race buckets are actually a better version of the Civic Type R seats. It all has to do with how you're building your car and what you're building your car for. Alright, let's go ahead and get started and take a look at the seats that I got for the Civic Type R. They're Sparco and OMP seats. There's two of them. There's two different brands. I wanted to try two different brands out, and as you can see here, the Sparco ones is on the passenger side. It's a bigger one. I got the wide one, and the OMP seat is the narrow one for myself. I wanted it to be nice and snug. Let's take a look at the rest of the interior here. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's a race car build, so that's why you see it that way. And the pros. There's numerous reasons why race buckets are way better than the Civic Type R seats. First of all, weight. So the Civic Type R seats are actually pretty lightweight to begin with. However, because of crash regulations, etc., and the fact that you have to adjust them, or they're very adjustable, they're going to be a lot heavier than these sport race buckets. And one of the main reasons that Civic Type R seats are as heavy as they are is because they have airbags in them. They have a lot of structural rigidity in them. Like I said, all the levers and things like that that make them adjustable are not found on these fixed race buckets. So first pro, of course, is going to be a lot of weight savings. I would say around 50 to 60 pounds total. When you replace both the front seats of the car, you're getting rid of 60 pounds of weight, and that's pretty significant. That's pretty significant weight on a car that you're going to use on the track. So one of the things that I kept in mind was that this car was going to be a track car. So lowering the weight is always going to be better for braking, for acceleration, for fun, just everything that involves having fun on the track or on the back roads. The lower the weight, the better. So that's number one. Number two is safety. So as you guys know, I did crash this car, so I was looking to either part it out or rebuild it. But if I'm going to rebuild it, I want to rebuild it stronger than before. After a crash, you want to make sure that you rebuild the car properly. As you can see, we have a full-on roll cage installed, but a good companion to a roll cage is going to be race buckets. One of the main reasons is because for the harnesses to properly be bolted to you and the car, you need something called a submarine belt. A submarine belt is the belt that goes through the bottom cushion of the seat and into the main clasp of your harness. Now, I could have taken the stock Civic Type R seats and cut a hole at the bottom of it. That, to me, did not sound like something I really wanted to do. The stock Civic Type R seats are honestly a work of art. I love them, and for me to ruin them and cut into them in such a way that would basically make it almost sacrilege, and in my opinion, was not something I wanted to do. So I went ahead and got both of these seats with the intention of obviously using a full 6-point harness. And, you know, that's another big pro to having these. The next pro is, of course, safety. Now, I'm not saying that the Civic Type R seats, the stock ones, are not safe. They are very, very safe. They pass, obviously, crash testing. However, when you're racing and you might hit a wall at over 100 miles an hour, you want to make sure that your seats are rated by higher-end organizations. There's two organizations specifically, SFI and FIA. SFI stands for SEMA Foundation Incorporated. They do a lot of different sanctioning for a lot of different spec for motorsports. I have SFI rated glove, SFI rated race suits, and SFI rated seats, a whole bunch of different SFI rated things to make sure that I race safely. And SFI is a pretty good standard to go by. They have different fire rating standards specifically to help you kind of understand how safe a product is. The other one is FIA, and FIA stands for, now if I can pronounce this correctly, it'd be great. It's French. It stands for Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile. My French is terrible. Sorry about that. But at the end of the day, FIA basically governs over most motorsports across the world. If it's good enough for FIA, I gotta say it's good enough for me. Another overwhelmingly positive part about putting in these race buckets is the way they keep you planted through these track corners. I mean, one of the biggest things that sports cars are missing these days is the ability to hold you in place while you turn. Now, that's often overlooked by a lot of people that take their cars to the track. Not being able to be held to your seat as you turn is a huge distraction when you're trying to eke out seconds, sometimes milliseconds off your lap. And the ability to be able to just hunker down and turn and just concentrate on the corner is something that is, like I said, overlooked and hugely important. Now, the Civic Type RCs, the stock ones, are very good at that. However, they still have to be semi-comfortable for the road. These are not as comfortable for the road, but they do hold you in very, very well. And that's actually probably the biggest reason to get aftermarket seats like these. Alright, let's go over the cons now of installing these seats. There are quite a few. Well, some of them are specific to the Type R, but most of them are just general. So let's start with the general first. The biggest con, obviously, is going to be getting in and out of the car. Now, you guys may know that owning a supercar, for example, if you have those special race buckets that supercars have, it makes getting in and out of the car damn near impossible sometimes. The same, of course, is true for these race buckets. So getting in and out is going to be a chore, especially when you have a roll cage like this. Getting in and out of this car, I got to make sure I stretch actually before I step into it. It makes the car feel special, but at the same time it's pretty annoying to live with day to day. So that's probably the biggest con. The second thing you have to note as being a con is these are not adjustable at all. So these are actually bracketed down, bolted down to the frame of the car. There's no back and forth adjustability. There's no up and down. There's no backrest adjustability. They are fixed racing seats, and they are what they are. So if you're looking for adjustability, they do sell some adjustable race bucket seats. They're not as safe as full race buckets, so I don't really recommend them if you're going this route. And so what happens is that you're basically going to be stuck with a fairly uncomfortable but race ready seat setup. That's exactly how I set mine up. I'm fairly close to the steering wheel, I'm fairly close to the pedals, and it makes it so that when I'm in it, be perfect, but it makes getting in and out a pain in the ass, and there's no adjustability. There's, if I want to lean back a little bit to get comfortable, that doesn't exist. So for long highway drives, as I might do every once in a while to drive to the track, I'm going to be a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. Another big negative that people often forget is that these race buckets, for the most part, don't have lumbar support. For most people, for most young people, I guess that doesn't matter as much, but as you get older, that starts mattering, and having no lumbar support is one of the biggest pains in the back that you can have. So I actually keep a cushion sometimes right in the seat so that my back has some support and it won't hurt after, let's say, an hour of race car driving. Now for Type R specific negatives, there are a couple. The main ones are that you have to transfer a few sensors from the stock seats over back into the car. I have not done that yet, and that has caused some issues with the traction control and the computer not being able to be initialized. There's also a seat position sensor that you have to transfer over. It's kind of a pain in the ass to figure it all out, and I will be doing a separate repair video because I have not done so yet in my Type R. It is something I have to do before the next track season starts in March. I will be doing that very soon. So those are all the negatives I can find for putting in aftermarket race seats.
The horse is yours.
Thank you. So finally, to answer the question, did I make a mistake in getting these bucket seats? For me, no, I did not make a mistake. Now, let's go over the specific seats that I got, the OMP TRS seats, as well as the Sparco seats. Now, Sparco is a little bit of higher quality of a seat. If you want higher quality, I would go with the Sparco. I went with the TRS because, first of all, I like the red and I like the design, and I find it to be a little bit more comfortable than the Sparco. I've sat in all of them before I bought them, obviously, and then I went in online and ordered the red one because I wanted red seats to fit with the rest of the Type R motif. And if I had to do it over again, would I get the TRS seat from OMP? The answer is yes, I would definitely do it over again. So I love the seats. I do recommend them. I like the Sparco. I like the OMP. OMP has great value, I think. It's a little bit less quality, like I said, than the Sparco, but the quality is just there. It is there for both of them. They're both really good. Now, who do I recommend this seat for? It's not for everyone. This upgrade is really not for everyone. It's actually probably for a lot less people than you think. For the most part, if all you're doing is occasional track days, I would probably stay away from putting these seats in your car. If you're just gonna take your car once or twice, maybe 3 times a year to the track and have some fun every once in a while, it's probably a terrible idea to put these seats in your car. It makes your car almost undrivable day-to-day basis. Getting in and out of it is a pain in the ass. If you're feeling tired or just not up to it one day, doesn't matter, you're gonna be forced to deal with the seats. Now, they're comfortable enough when you're already in them, but getting in and out is not easy and it's not comfortable. Another factor to notice is that you're gonna have to trick the car into thinking it still has all these weight sensors and the position sensors and those other things that come in the stock seats that you're gonna have to kind of figure that out. It's a pain in the ass. I have not figured that out yet. I will hopefully figure that out soon, but we'll see. And then finally, if you're looking to save some weight, I think there's other methods to save weight other than replacing the seat. There's other things you can do for weight savings. The car itself doesn't weigh that much anyway, so honestly, I wouldn't worry about that too much. So the people that should be getting it are people that are really serious about racing or tracking this car. It's people that are going to be, for the most part, taking this car a lot to the track. I would say 10 plus days at the track per year at the minimum if you're thinking about doing this upgrade. And for the most part, the main reason you should do this upgrade is not for weight savings. It's not for comfort, obviously. It's for safety. If you're going to be doing a lot of very competitive track days, time trials, time attacks, or wheel-to-wheel racing, you may even be forced to buy these upgraded seats. So just keep all of that in mind. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I was instructional and fun to watch. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.